So let's talk about these 6 rules. So number 1 is you got to let go of the past. You got to let go of your past. Everybody's got a story. I've got a story. You've got a story. If you start comparing stories, you might think that some stories are more severe than others, but it's really all kind of relative. And so you've got to let go of the past. People always say, well, how the hell do I do this? Well, and I always say this, everything starts with a decision. Now, if you knew how you focusing on your past was screwing with your self-image and your future, you let it go. And so I was reading this book, and there's a chapter in here on your imagination, and it was Christmas 2018, I think, 2017, 2018, I think. No, 2017. And it was December 27th, a couple days after Christmas. And I had a couple glasses of wine. I'm sitting in a relaxed chair. I was in a relaxed state. And he started explaining how if you use your imagination and look backwards on your past, you see yourself as a person because you've got all these events and experiences. You got these facts and evidence to back up, who you were at the time. And he said, if you keep using your imagination, look backwards, you see yourself as that person. You stay as that person. And I go, shit, I'm freaking done with that. Now that was 2017, okay? And I wasn't done with it because I didn't really make a committed decision. I was talking to somebody today about a committed decision. It's an irrevocable decision. He's married and kids, and we were talking about his family and stuff. And I said, listen, when you got married and you're standing at the altar, doing your vows didn't include, well, we'll get married, we'll just see how it goes for a little while, okay? When you make a commitment like that, it's an irrevocable decision. And so I made this decision. I was going to change it, but it wasn't irrevocable. And I was going back and forth because I didn't really understand. Like, I understood what he said in the moment about letting go of the past, but I didn't really know how to do it. And so I kept studying people. So this is the book, folks, Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz, okay? Published in 1960. It was a revolution in psychology when he discovered the self-image. Self-image wasn't even being talked about, okay? And it really changed the face of psychology at that time. And it's still all very, very relevant today. In fact, everything in this book is very, very relevant because it's very bang on with science and the science of your mind. So you got to let go of the past. And every time you talk about the past, every time you think about the past, every time you mention the past, if there's any negative association, any negative thoughts or any negative feelings towards that, you're toast. You're going to stay there. Okay. So when you're working with me, you might be talking and I interrupt you a lot because if you're talking about the past, I don't want to talk about the past. Now, let me give you an example. I was talking to a lady last week and, according to her, she was really stuck. And she'd been stuck for quite some time. I'm not going to waste any time right now on her story, but suffice to say, she had some difficulties between the ages of 20 and 30. And we got talking and I kept asking her, what does she want? And she wanted to keep talking about her story. And I said, I don't want to hear your story. I don't need to hear your story. It's not relevant. Your past is not relevant to what you want to do. Your experience is not relevant. Your education is not relevant. Nothing is relevant to where you want to go. But then, so we'd go a little bit further in the conversation. Then she'd go backwards. She goes, well, hang on, let me explain that. I don't want it. And I kept cutting her off and kept cutting her off. Anyway, she sent me this text the next day. She goes, it's unbelievable how quickly you reset my thought patterns from our conversation today. You wouldn't let me look back or identify with anything. Thanks for the kick in the ass. I needed that. I've never had anyone be able to help me in such a profound manner so quickly. You made me realize a lot, like a lightning bolt. You're definitely a profound catalyst. Thank you for being a strong and inspirational example of succeeding beyond the depth of our traumas. The rose that grew from the concrete, you are appreciated. Now, I'm reading that not to impress you, but impress upon you that if you let go of the past, you can free yourself so friggin' fast. I checked in with her for a few days in a row to see how she's doing, and I've got her reading a book, The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, and I asked her, so what did you get out of it? And anyway, she wrote me a bunch of stuff here, and she said, listen, bottom line, do your best, have courage, create strong boundaries, no self-judgment or guilt, learning to trust myself again and the power of my intuition, learning to forgive myself and see myself in God's eyes instead of my story. These are the main things I've been working on daily. I've seen drastic improvements already in the energy and script of my days and catch myself anytime I slip. Thanks again, Doug. You rock. I do frickin' rock, actually. And I'm not saying that you could just listen. I've just studied really hard to figure out what was holding me back because I was really stuck. And it was very frustrating. It was very hard. It was taking a long time. And so I wanted to go on this mission to figure it out because everybody else asking me how I did it, and I couldn't explain to you how I did it. So number one, let go of the past.